Hi and welcome back, and I'd just like to say thank you to everyone that stopped by and checked out my first video. Thank you very much for that. Now I'm trying to work on improving my skills. As you've noticed, I worked out how to create a thumbnail so that you don't get these funny faces every time I make a video. So we'll put that one up again with this video as well. I've also worked out how to do the links, which I did manage to do before I got everything aired, so I will do links again today. So I do a lot of work in Canva. That's where I created my thumbnail for YouTube, which is the picture you see now that when you find my channel. And had fun setting my phone up so that I could have a hands-free situation. So you wouldn't want to be here sitting looking at what I've got everything sitting on, and just hope it stays together. That way you can get like a better angle, work on the lighting a little better. And then I've got a couple of things I wanted to show you. First was a couple of my creations that I've got for sale. So this one is my Mr. T mug. You'll find that one on Gearbubble. I did have it on another platform, but they weren't impressed. But Gearbubble's okay with it. So I'll put the links for that if anyone wants to check that out. I've got quite a few things over there, other designs as well. So feel free to browse those and tell me what you think in the comments after you've had a look. I've also got another design which is for cat lovers. I've got a few different takes on this one. I think the ones on my Etsy store are a little different than this particular design, but they've got the same graphic. So go ahead and check them out as well. And as I said in my last video, I'd sent away for some products that I was interested in trying out. So I've got at least one of them here to show you that I've been using, which is it's a nutritional spray, and it's meant to enhance your brain health. Now there's no sort of shall we say, like legal claims. It's just something that you can try to see if it is something that will help you out with your health. And I think one of the main ingredients here is like a vitamin compound, and you just spray them on your mouth. I'll show you how you do it. This one is an 8 spray a day, and it's got about 30 days worth of sprays in it. So I've probably only had about 4 or 5 sprays today, so I need a bit more oomph in my brain, so we'll have another one. So you just spray that onto your tongue, let it sit there for about 5 seconds. It actually tastes very similar to the Barocca, if anyone's tried the Baroccas. And I do have another one. It's a keto one. I'm not using it at the moment because too much for me to use more than 1 spray a day. So, but I have tried it, and it has a nice vanilla flavour to it as well, and it's also I think it's got vitamin compounds. So I will leave the links in case they are things you'd like to try out for yourself. I do have some links through to my own website in relation to my Daily Choice company that actually has these products available. So please feel free to check them out. I also purchased a really nice fragrance called frankincense that I got to put in my diffuser. Now I just have a nice little diffuser here that I use. It's got a USB connection, but I'm sure you could put it in any diffuser, but I like this one. My daughter gave it to me for Christmas, and you can set the misting to go on and off every 10 seconds, or you can have continuous misting, and it's really nice just to freshen up the room. So that's what I purchased it for. But I did have a visit from my sister yesterday, and she was also looking for the same fragrance, so I let her take it home, but she was kind enough to pay me for it, so I very much appreciate that. So I will purchase that again, the frankincense. There are quite a few other essential oils as well, so, and I'll put a link to that below if anyone wants to check out the essential oil. I mean, the company is actually based in the US, but when I put my orders in, they do have must have a warehouse in Melbourne, because all my products came from Melbourne and they came quite quickly, so I was quite happy with that. So that's something, if you'd like to try out, go ahead and give it a whirl, see how you go. Now I'm also, I like to go out and walk around the neighbourhood, especially now we're moving into not spring, no, in the northern hemisphere it's spring, but here in the southern hemisphere it's autumn. But this last week, moving into Easter, has almost felt like we've had the last leash of summer weather. It must have been in the 30s Celsius today, so it's a cool down tonight. I went out and walked around my neighbourhood. It's nice to just get out in nature and talk to the trees, talk to people, and it's interesting to see some of the sites where, I mean, it's probably happening all over the world. I know it's happening all over Adelaide, but it's not something I particularly agree with. They often knock down the old houses, and instead of just putting another one up there with a nice yard for a family to have, children to play in, you get 8 little boxes, no yards, nothing. And I find I really don't like them, and I don't really understand why they're squashing so many people in on one square that housed just one house previously. I mean, I don't know if any of you have ever done housing surveys. I have. That's one of the things I tried online, is doing surveys. And I noticed with housing surveys, when they were promoting little boxes, you would never ask the question, would you like to live in a house that has a home, has room for your children to play, room to grow vegetables, place to relax in, or would you like to live in a little box? And you never get that question. It's always, would you like little box 1, little box B, or little box C, or 1, 2, 3, or A, B, C? And then it starts talking about the different features. Would you like this feature or that feature? So the surveys, as far as I see, they have an agenda to push, well, look at this survey, we did this, people want this. But if you don't really look deeply into how they're surveying people, they're not giving people the choice as to whether they want to live in a home that's got plenty of room and privacy, or whether they want to live in a little box. So I tend to think there's perhaps greed involved with developers, and also councils. Instead of getting one set of rates, they're probably going to get 8 off of one spot. And who knows whether people have strange ideas about population agendas, and don't really care whether we live in little boxes or what. So kind of think it's time to jump up and down and say, hey, I don't want these in this street, so watch this space. I might be jumping up and down about all these little boxes around the place, because I just don't think it's a healthy way to go. And I doubt that the world is that populated that we don't have space enough for people to have their own space. So it's just interesting to keep your eye on all the things that are happening out there in the world. If you, like me, gave up looking at newscasts a long time ago, I got sick of hearing people just read something out. You click another channel and you get the same story, then over and over. They just pounded in till, you know, days on end you'd hear, this has happened, this has happened, this has happened, until you believe that's happened. And so you don't really know whether it's truth or what it is. And so I not interested in being indoctrinated, so I turned my TV set off, and if I want to see what's happening in the world, I just check out all my video channels. There's a lot there, there's a lot of information, and there's lots of different search engines. I wouldn't just use Google, I would use a whole variety of search engines, because there is different information in different places, and you really need to be in tune with yourself and discern just really what is what in the world. You will get people jumping up and down saying, "Ah, it's all falling to pieces, blah blah blah." But when I'm an intuitive person, you go into yourself and you think, is this real or not? And you really think things over in your head, and you have your connection with the universe, and your spirit, your soul, whatever you want to call it, will filter and discern information. And so you don't need any of these third parties out there telling you what to believe. You can just work it out for yourself. So that's what I prefer to do, is to check things out, look around, and then make my own decisions from the information I receive, rather than just pushing a button and getting the same information on 7 different channels. Yeah, but each to his own. Everyone's got their own way of doing things. So I'm still working on my I'm building my platforms. I've got over 100 cup designs up on my Etsy platform at the moment. But my biggest issue, yes, is learning how to market myself, getting out there on all the different platforms, because it's very highly competitive, and you do have to be continually studying and looking at new ways to get yourself out there and get your products out there. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, looking into platforms like Pinterest for putting all my design information up there, product information. Also there's the option of perhaps looking to find an influencer on apps like Instagram. Yeah, there's just lots of different ways, and I'm just slowly learning how to do things and just building up my knowledge. Like they always said, Rome wasn't built in a day, so certainly my business isn't going to be hitting the big time anytime soon, but we're plodding away and happy to be doing what I'm doing. So there you go. So yes, thank you so much for putting up with me for the second time round, and hopefully I'll have some more interesting content next time. Still putting it out there to get, I've had some sales, but it's been a bit of a drought since my last sale, so just putting it out there, hopefully that now that Mother's Day is on the horizon, and in the Northern Hemisphere at least, Father's Day follows in June. So just focusing on getting content out for those areas, and hopefully have a few hits and a few sales, so to sort of boost my morale a bit in that area. But anyway, sticking at it, and really happy to have the freedom to be doing what I'm doing, and to be able to do some other things that I wouldn't normally be able to do if I was still working 9 to 5. So thank you for your time, and hit the like button if you like my video, and subscribe, and I'll be back again soon. Thank you.